Okay, so any of you familiar with mathematical statistics have come across these chi-squared distributions. And if you're anything like me, you've puzzled over just what the hell they're talking about. So, on paper, you'll see something like, okay, a chi-squared distribution with 3 degrees of freedom is basically talking about the sum of 3 independent standard normal distributions or standard normal random variables squared. And I guess for me the tricky thing with getting my head around this is like, well, what does it mean in like a practical sense to be squaring a random variable? And I'm hoping that this little demonstration is going to shed some light on that. So what I've done is I've created this vector z, which is just 2,000 random variates from a chi-squared distribution with 3 degrees of freedom. Now what I've also done is created 3 independent vectors of random variates from standard normal distributions of length 2,000. And so the idea is I'm going to create another vector that is the sum of the squares of these vectors. So what this is doing, this D is also going to have length 2,000, and it's just going to pair up like the first element of each of these vectors squared and summed. So it's kind of crazy because these things are just random. But the claim is that even though they're random, doing this procedure of squaring them and summing them is going to have some kind of predictable result. Okay, so basically I'm just going to then create a histogram of z and a histogram of this new sum of squares vector d, and I'm just going to sort of hope that at least visually it seems plausible that they're talking about the same thing, or at the end of the day pulling, like sampling from the same pool, if you will. So let's go ahead, paste this into R, and see what happens. Okay, and like it does look plausible. It looks like we've got a unimodal thing here. With this long right tail, and we see the same sort of pattern here in D, and we'll just do it again because why not? Maybe it'll look nicer, and we again see the same sort of thing. Okay, so to me it at least seems plausible that I've that I have the idea of what this thing is talking about correct. All right, thank you.